In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to build wealth in your 20s. So I put a lot of thought into this video, and I think that the most sincere way for me to do this is like this. If I could go back in time, these are the 10 tips that I would tell the younger version of myself. Starting off with number 1 is switching industries. So if you're thinking about switching fields, you have to realize that this is a big decision, it's a very big decision, and it has very big consequences. So think about it very carefully, because starting from scratch in a new industry, that is a big setback. So let's just say that you're working your current job, whatever it is that you're doing. You've built years of experience in whatever you're doing. And then let's just say that you're thinking about switching to a completely different industry. Let's just say you're thinking about switching to real estate, for example. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying that you have to take into consideration the cost of starting from scratch. And if you keep on hopping around from field to field, you're not going to gain the expertise to be top-notch in your field. Only do it if you have to, only if you feel like you must, or if there's a much better opportunity. But that opportunity, it must be very, very compelling. Because I don't know if you realize this, I don't know if you know this, but the top tier people in your industry, they're crushing it. And you don't have to be the best. I'm not talking about the best of the best. I'm just talking about really good at what they do. I want to give you an example. So what does the average accountant make compared to a top tier accountant? Again, I'm not talking about the very best accountant. I'm just talking about top tier, like really good at what you do. If you're a really good accountant, then you're going to be making about $600,000 to $800,000 a year. So what does the average real estate agent make? What does the average one make compared to a top tier real estate agent? Again, I'm not talking about the very best. I'm just saying that if you're a good broker, like you're really good at your job, you're pulling in $500K to $1 million. Average computer programmer or software engineer compared to a top tier one that gets compensated in stock options, there's just no comparison. Listen, don't even get me started in sales, software sales, product sales, etc. So most people will probably agree with me. So this is either a revelation or this is just a reminder to you, and just don't forget it. So think about it carefully before you make that big decision. So I want you to understand this, that talent will only take you so far. It's the years of building your book of business, or it's the years of building your expertise that will skyrocket your income. And your income growth, it's going to be exponential. It's not going to be linear. So if you keep switching professions, my fear for you is that you're going to end up as a jack of all trades, and your compensation will be discounted because you're not going to become an expert in your field. So unless you have something better to do, stay in your field, and then you will command a premium for your expertise. Number 2 is self-employment. I want to be absolutely clear about this, and this is how I feel. I believe that not everyone is meant to be self-employed. But if you do have that entrepreneurial spirit, or you know someone that does, then I want you to pay attention. If you want to be self-employed right now in your 20s is the best time to do it. I don't think there's any other time that's better than this. So I'm telling you, I'm talking practically, realistically. As time goes on, life is going to get in the way. Life is going to become more complicated. In your 20s, you have less responsibilities, you have less financial obligations, you have more time, and you have more energy. And even if you end up failing, you're young and you're going to be more resilient. So ultimately what I'm saying is that right here, right now, in your 20s is the best time to take your shot. But listen, if you're in your 20s, I understand your situation. So I was there, I was in your shoes, because, okay, if you're working your job and it's your primary source of income, then how the hell are you supposed to quit? How are you supposed to quit your job and survive financially, right? So in most cases, you're gonna have to do what I did. So you will need to keep your day job, and with your free time, you're gonna have to build your business on the side. So that's what I did personally in my 20s. So when I got out of school, I was working full-time. I had a full-time job. I was working as an accountant. I started doing some side work, extra work, whatever you want to call it. I started doing some tax work for small businesses and individuals on the side in my free time. And I told myself, I said that if I start gaining some traction, then maybe I can do this full time, maybe I can quit my job. And if it flops, well, if it fails, then at least I'm not going to have any regrets for not trying. And additionally, I'm not going to be screwed over financially because I didn't quit my day job. Okay, so that's what I did. And was it difficult? Of course it was difficult. I'm not going to lie to you. It was very difficult. I was very busy. I had to sacrifice my evenings, my weekends, time with my friends and family. I had to sacrifice my energy. But was it worth it? Absolutely, 100%. So long story short, I quit my full-time job when I was 25, and it was one of the best decisions of my life. Number 3 is lifestyle creep. This is so important. You have to avoid this trap. You're in your 20s, and there are just so many temptations out there. We're talking about designer brands, that nice car, impressing your friends, impressing your family, impressing strangers. Listen, you can't afford to do this. I mean, who are you kidding? You're in your 20s. You're not supposed to be rich, and nobody expects you to be rich at this point in your life. You're in your 20s. So I don't care. I don't care if you're smart. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how hardworking you are. This is about getting your priorities straight. So if you act rich and you spend money like you're rich in your 20s, then you will be neglecting your finances. So in your 20s, you can probably buy that nicer car or that nice watch or that Louis V or that Gucci. And if you buy one of those items, all of those items, you know what? You're probably going to love those things so much, but you're going to be so financially stressed out, and it's going to be a setback for you, a big financial setback. If you focus, so if you do the smart thing, and if you focus on building your wealth first, then in the future, you can buy those nice things and it's not going to set you back. So I'm telling you, just get your priorities straight in your 20s. And trust me, when you get rich, when you build that wealth first, and when you do it correctly like that, you prioritize, you build your wealth first, then you're going to be able to buy those nice things in the future. And it's going to be even sweeter, I guarantee you. The feeling, the sensation you're going to get is going to be even better. So I guarantee you. Moving on to number 4 is budgeting. This sounds so boring, but this one is probably one of the most important ones. So I cannot stress this enough. If I saw the younger version of me, I would say, Brian, you have to open up a goddamn spreadsheet. You have to track where your money is going, where you're spending your money. You have to analyze where you're overspending. And after you have the information, after you look at all this, look for cheaper alternatives. So that is what I would tell myself. In my early 20s, I had no idea where the hell my money was going. All I knew was that I didn't have much money left over to invest. So I'm telling you, open up a spreadsheet, write down your income, write down your expenses, categorize your expenses, and you will be horrified. Identify your problem areas and fix them. And I swear to you, this is going to help you out so much. Now, I want to talk about what assets, which assets that you need to focus on when you're in your 20s. Okay, so you're in your 20s, you are not rich, and you only have a limited amount of money to invest. So I want to tell you what you should be focusing on. This brings me to my number 5. Contribute to your retirement plan at work. So I'm talking about your 401k or your 403b. So usually your employer offers you a matching contribution. If you put money into your 401k or 403b, then your company, they usually will give you a matching amount. This is what happens at most companies. So they give you a matching amount. So for example, if you contribute $1,000 into your 401k or your 403b, your employer will give you an extra $500. That's just an example. In this case, that is free money, and you should take full advantage of that. So fund your retirement accounts at least up to the maximum matching amount. Number 6, Roth IRA. So I don't know if you know this, but you can have personal retirement accounts outside of your workplace. So for example, you can contribute money to your 401k at work, and you can also contribute to an IRA outside of your work. In your 20s, you should be focusing on your Roth IRA. So the Roth IRA, that's arguably the best tax-advantaged retirement accounts. The reason why I'm saying that is because the earnings that you make in a Roth IRA will never be subject to tax ever again, unless you take early withdrawals, which you should not do. So no tax ever again, that's a pretty difficult proposition to beat. Number 7, save up for your first property. In your 20s, you should be saving up to buy your first home. And this is gonna be your starter home. This is not gonna be the home of your dreams. And chances are that you're not gonna live in this home for the rest of your life. So please keep that in mind. You wanna buy something that you can afford, and the goal is to save up 20% for a down pay. So if you're taking a conventional loan to buy a home and you put down less than 20%, then you're gonna end up paying PMI, and that's gonna be such a big waste of money. Number 8, start investing in stocks. In your 20s, with stocks, you're not trying to get rich. Your objective is to learn how to invest your money, because you're probably gonna be more involved in the stock market in your 30s. In your retirement accounts, invest in mutual funds, invest in index funds. Outside of your retirement accounts, get acquainted with stocks. Now, in your stock account, also known as your brokerage accounts, you want diversification, so spread out your money. Buy blue chip stocks, dividend stocks, REITs, tech stocks, growth stocks, value stocks. You can sprinkle in some speculative stocks as well. I'm just saying stay diversified. Now, if you want to open up a stock account, please look for my link down below. If you use that link, you will receive free stocks as a sign-up bonus, and there's no catch. I've vetted it out personally. It's free, no minimum, no monthly fees. Please take advantage of the free money. Moving on to number 9, pay down your debts. So again, you're in your 20s and you're not gonna have enough money to pay down all of your debts, because you might have credit card debts, you might have student loans, you might have a mortgage, auto loan, etc. And on top of that, you still wanna be contributing money to your retirement accounts and investing in the stock markets. So in your 20s, you should make it a priority to pay down or completely eliminate your credit card debt. Because this one's the most important, because credit card debt is the most toxic. If you have credit card debt, you are getting charged an obscene amount of interest, and if you don't get out of it right now, then this situation, it's gonna spiral out of control. It's just gonna get worse, and it's gonna haunt you until you climb out of that hole. Number 10, stop chasing get-rich-quick schemes. You have to cut this nonsense out, because you're gonna end up wasting your time, you're gonna waste your money, you're gonna waste your energy, and this is gonna become a very bad habit. So listen, do these 10 things that I told you, and you will build your wealth on a solid foundation. So you wanna go for incremental progress, and you will build momentum. That's what you're going for. So listen, don't misunderstand what I'm saying here. Be prepared for opportunities, but don't be naive, and don't go for foolish shortcuts. So listen, I want you to know this. I have been so fortunate to have so many good people helping me in my financial journey. I do not come from a rich family. My parents immigrated to America with absolutely nothing. They worked very hard, and they were very deliberate in making sure that I became financially educated. So I understand that not everyone is fortunate enough to have this type of advantage, this type of mentorship at an early age. People have been gracious enough to help me, and I'm just trying to do my part to share my knowledge with you. So I want to end with this. If you're trying to become financially successful, then I'm rooting for you, and I hope you do achieve it, and I hope you enjoy the fruits of your labor. I also hope that you help other people, you help others with your resources, not just with your money, but with your time and also your talents. So thank you so much for your time. Please subscribe, and I wish you a very nice day. Take care.